So what can you do when you've invested money in an online purchase and get nothing in return? One woman in New Hartford has nearly $4,000 tied up in an online dispute, and she's getting nowhere.
News Channel 2's Kirk Tupai tells us what consumers should know before making a purchase and what they can do when an issue goes unresolved.
Prior to the pandemic, Renee English spent nearly $4,000 on airline tickets. The pandemic hit and the airlines canceled the flights. She spent over 4 months trying to get her money back.
Flyus.com is telling me that the airline needs to call them to have that suspension lifted, and Emirates is telling me that Flyus needs to call them. They're both telling me the exact opposite, and no one will reach out to the other one.
So what can you do when a company refuses to act on a pending dispute? For answers, we turn to the Longaretta law firm, who says a legal battle probably isn't the way to go.
In this particular case, instead of $4,000, she may be looking at $5,000 or $6,000 to recover nothing. And the contract is so strongly drafted to favor Flyus that it's really unfair. It truly is unfair.
English did file a complaint with the West Florida Better Business Bureau, but her complaint went nowhere.
I thought the Better Business Bureau was there to actually help the consumer and stand up for them and, fight for them, and nothing. They just closed the case within 2 weeks.
David Longaretta says consumers really need to read the fine print when dealing with third-party companies like Flyus.com.
This is just wrong. I read the contract, I read their terms. I couldn't believe what I was reading. But, when you read a contract and in your very first paragraph says, if you don't agree to all of our terms, leave now, that's kind of a warning.
Another woman who's also from New Hartford is in a similar situation, but is declining an on-camera interview because she feels it would compromise her chances of ever getting a refund. But Renee English plans to continue her fight to the bitter end.
I'm going to keep filing a complaint with the Better Business Bureau against Emirates Airline and Flyus.com, and hopefully that someday they realize this woman's not going away, and that other people will also stand up for themselves when they are being treated like this from companies who are supposedly reputable.
Just from reading the terms of the contract, I don't think she'll ever get all of her money. She may get some satisfaction, but she'll never be made whole. Not unless she brings a class action lawsuit.
Longaretta says class action lawsuits are expensive and English may be better off writing letters, blogging, and continuing with her phone calls. Bottom line, read your contracts and consumers beware. In New Hartford, I'm Kirk Tupai reporting for News Channel 2.